Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive, Green Thumb Industries founder and CEO Ben Kovler. He's here to weigh in on this potential reclassification. Ben, I know you guys all talk. There's a lot of chatter. What are you hearing?
Well, it looks like this may happen.
You know what,
which
Ben?
would finally
Hold
be,
on
as you
right
said.
now. Hold on. President Trump is in the Oval Office taking questions about this. Can we pop that up, please?
The reports that you rebuked the Israeli Prime Minister.
Please.
Are the reports that you rebuked the Israeli Prime Minister for the hit on the Hamas general true? And is Israel undermining your efforts to be a peacemaker?
No, Israel and I have gotten along very well. My relationship with Bibi Netanyahu has been obviously a very good one. Look,
just as we took it, he stopped talking about it, but he did say they were reconsidering they were considering the reclassification of it, Ben. So let me just get to it. You're the chairman and interim CEO of a company called Rhythm as well. Both that and Green Thumb are publicly traded. Rhythm is the intellectual property holder of a bunch of cannabis brands. What would this mean to you and to any potential shareholders who are waiting to participate in this sector?
Yeah, thanks, Liz. Thanks for having me. I think what this really does is give a lot of clarity. Investors don't like uncertainty, and by moving cannabis to Schedule III, it allows real medical research into the positive attributes of this product. It does not legalize the product, but it allows for different structures of the business and allows for research, and we think that's a very positive thing as we look across the country.
Well, you talk about, a Class 1 and then a Class 3. The Class 1s are... There's no medical benefit to heroin. There's no medical benefit to the opioids that, are killing people. So we get it. It's really kind of improper to keep marijuana in there because there are medical benefits. But where do you see the real potential for opportunity to improve the bottom line of your company?
Well, yeah, what you said is it's common sense for there to be the medical properties of marijuana as a Schedule III, which is actually where most opioids are. And we know that 75,000 Americans die every year from opioid overdose. So it's high time for this to be Schedule III. What it means for investors, what it means for the business is a tax structure change. It allows us to continue to invest. The industry has over 400,000 employees that are currently now having trouble with banking, having trouble getting mortgages. The industry creates over $3 billion of state tax revenue. And that's real money for the state taxes. And by moving this to Schedule I should open up access for that and should continue to grow the industry.
Medical marijuana is legal in about 13 states, if I'm correct there. It's legalized completely when it comes to that medical aspect of it. But federal law still prohibits marijuana use. Is there any downside that you see when people come to you and say, well, it's a gateway drug? Is it? What's your answer to that?
Yeah, my answer is to pause for a moment, to listen to them, and then say, we don't think it's a gateway drug. We think it's an exit ramp. We think it's an exit drug from the opioid epidemic, and that there's a lot of positivity created by marijuana as opposed to an entry ramp. Let's look at the veterans. You're exactly right. States have a program that legalizes, but the veterans who are on a federal program do not have access because of the federal system that says it's illegal. There's 18 to 20 veterans that unfortunately commit suicide every day. By opening up medical access and medical research, we hope we can make a material dent on that number.
Oh, there are cancer sufferers, glaucoma sufferers, our veterans who have been wounded, who find that traditional medicine is not working for them, but that marijuana gives them incredible relief. We get all of that. I also want to look at this from a financial standpoint. You've got Section 280E of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code, which prohibits businesses from deducting most ordinary expenses if the business involves federally controlled substances, which would include Schedule I and II. So would the reclassification then mean that you guys can now conduct way more business and not have that regulatory overhang on your head?
Exactly. We would pay taxes on operating income like most and all normal businesses as opposed to gross margin. On a Green Thumb basis, that would equal approximately $60 million more of free cash flow to the bottom line each year, or money that we can use to invest in new states, hire more people, build more facilities across the country.
We speak with a lot of cannabis CEOs, Irwin Simon of Tilray. We've spoken to Jim Hagedorn of Scott's Miracle Grow. They, of course, provide a lot of the equipment for growing marijuana. Mike Tyson has been on. He's got a big company, and marijuana has really certainly helped a lot of his friends and a lot of people who suffer from great pain. What would you say to President Trump if he could hear you right now? Because he had a brother who died of alcoholism. Alcohol is legal, and there are a lot of concerns that in a way, you know, some people say alcohol's worse than marijuana.
Yeah, first, I agree that alcohol is worse than marijuana. But what I would say is thank you for the consideration. We think this has been a long time coming and appreciate looking at this. And moving to Schedule 3 makes the most sense for both American jobs, American taxes, and American veterans.
Well, Ben, thank you for coming on. It has been a long road for many of you who are trying to conduct business, and it's been very difficult in the United States. We're watching it. You're hearing this week. My sources are telling me possibly as early as Wednesday for that executive order. We will be following it. Thanks for joining us.
We are here. Thank you, Liz.
You bet.